Every leader reaches a moment, a quiet, ordinary, and easy to overlook moment when they recognize that their pace, their patterns, and their priorities perhaps have shifted a bit off center, off course. And it's not because of a failure, it's not because of a lack of effort, it's simply that life is full and leadership is demanding. And small detours like that add up over time, don't they? And most people don't drift because of one dramatic moment that gets them off course. They drift in small little increments. One overloaded week, one delayed pause, one extra yes at a time. No moral drift, but capacity drift. And high capacity people often drift the easiest because they're capable of carrying more than they should. And when we slow down long enough to pay attention, we tend to notice that this drift gathers around four pretty predictable danger zones: neglected self-care, blurred focus, fading clarity, and diminished opportunity. When self-care weakens, our rest becomes shallow. We stay in motion, but without the renewal that clears our perspective and honors the limits God designed for us. And when focus becomes scattered, boundaries thin out. Yes becomes reflexive. Urgency, not intention, starts steering the day. And when clarity diminishes, motivation follows. We forget what we're building and why it matters and what truly deserves our best energy. And when our sense of opportunity narrows, abundance feels distant, and we stop noticing what's actually possible around us, or we assume every open door requires our involvement even when it doesn't. These danger zones are subtle and they're sneaky. They rarely announce themselves when they start showing up, but they do show up in familiar leader phrases that you can listen for. Phrases like, oh yeah, I'm fine. It's just a season. I'll rest when things settle down. Or ones like, that project, yeah, I think that has to be me on that project. But drift can't correct itself, and clarity has to be invited. That's why we begin here with a simple acknowledgement. You carry real responsibility, and this is your space right now to regain alignment and clarity right where you are in the season of life that you're experiencing right now. And now is that time to lead with intention. Everybody's counting on it. Intention, not exhaustion. And over the next 6 sessions, we'll walk through a model that's shaped by our TCI signature framework. Transform, cultivate, innovate, TCI. But applied to these 4 areas specifically, where leaders most often lose momentum: self-care, focus, clarity, and opportunity. Let me talk you through each one. Self-care is where we'll explore the patterns that quietly drain our capacity and rediscover the practices that restore strength, perspective, and soul-level steadiness. When we talk about focus, we're going to examine how boundaries and priorities and intentional no's, the word no, creates room for meaningful, sustainable yeses. When we talk about clarity, we're going to learn to slow down enough to see what really matters, realign decisions with your calling, and lead from truth rather than pressure, and make sure everyone is clear about what you're clear about. In the opportunity discussion, we're going to shift from scarcity lens in your life to the abundance mindset, recognizing what is actually possible, discerning what is not ours to carry, and stepping into what God has already prepared. These aren't isolated topics, these 4. They're expressions of a deeper invitation to transform whatever's misaligned right now and cultivate what strengthens you and innovate how you live, lead, and move forward. Because too many people today are burning out. Too many people today are wearing out. Too many people today are opting out. And too many people today are just simply missing out. But with intention and support, leaders can move from burning out to honoring self-care, from wearing out to leading with focus. They can move from opting out to reclaiming clarity, and from missing out to recognizing all the opportunities that are in front of us. This first session gives you that space, that real space to see your life with honesty and without judgment. No room for criticism here, but for clarity. Not to expose what's wrong, but to illuminate what's possible. Leaders don't typically need more capacity. They need room to breathe and catch up with themselves and recalibrate and to remember and reconnect with who they really are and who they're becoming. So as we begin, here's the question that anchors this entire journey. Where have you drifted? And what would it look like to return? Return, not to busyness, not to pressure, but to the grounded, aligned version of who you need to be to lead with courage, wisdom, and with peace. I'll see you in session 2 as we encounter our first danger zone.